Hello, welcome to Dungeon Girls Podcast. I'm your host Justin. So today I'm reviewing the Hellboy remake, or Hellboy 3 as some people are calling it, which came out 2019. It's a fantasy action film. It's 2 hours and 1 minute long, which there's a post-credit scene if you haven't seen the movie, just so you know. It's directed by Neil Marshall, who directed cult horror films. He's a UK director, like Dog Soldiers. He also directed Centurion, and he did like the Lost in Space remake on Netflix, which I haven't seen yet, but I'm kind of interested. But it kind of aesthetically looks not as cool as the movie that had Joey from Friends in it. I don't know. I really like. It's the thing that movie sucks, but there's a lot of cool shit in that movie, man. Like the fight, the designs, the H.R. Geiger shit, like, which was in a lot of like '90s sci-fi. The 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 what was it, like the suit that the battle suit that like Joey had in the movie for one scene. Oh man, I remember how I saw that film. I'm like, I went to my parents and I'm like, I want a toy of that. I don't even think it existed. The best they could do was give me like stickers, and I'm like, what the fuck? Fucking stickers. Oh man. Yeah, so I saw this movie last night. Stayed up late to watch it last night because I was busy. Which I picked up this movie at a Walmart at the bargain bin for like $10. Which you gotta love the Walmart like bargain bin, like blockbuster that bombed 2 years ago. Watch it land in the bargain bin at Walmart, man. I love the bargain bin at Walmart, man. You got it. It's just like that's how I watched that Fantastic Four reboot, which also not as bad. I gotta say, I actually really enjoyed the film. Which the film stars David Harbour as Hellboy, who you'll know as the police chief of Hawkins and Stranger Things, R.I.P. Spoiler alert. You got Mila Jovovich as the Blood Queen Nemoi, Sasha Lane as Alice Monaghan, who was white in the comic book, which the only Hellboy, sorry, I'm scratching my beard. The only Hellboy trait I have is the one that was the inspiration for this movie, the Wild Hunt, which has nothing to do with the Norse mythology. Wild Hunt, unfortunately, which when I picked it up, that's what I thought it would be about. Wasn't. You got Daniel Day Kim as Ben Damio, Ian McShane as Professor Broom, which Bad Cat. I mean, he was good in the movie, but it's kind of like, wow, they didn't even. The thing about the original, they got John Hurt, and they did a great job of making him look like the comic book character. They didn't even try with Ian McShane. They didn't even try. He just showed up as himself. So I gotta say, I really enjoyed the film, man. It's like, I think a lot of people hated this film because there's a couple reasons. One, it's Guillermo del Toro fanboys, which is like, god damn it, guys. Not every fucking movie Guillermo del Toro makes is fucking good. A lot of the same Hellboy fanboys, I'm talking about like Double Toasted, Spill.com, hated Pacific Rim, but like loved that Crimson Peaks movie, which was fucking boring as hell. Jesus Christ. And also what was that other shitty Guillermo del Toro movie I watched? Oh my god, can't remember. God damn, I must have been bit by a mosquito because it's like super itchy. Yeah, yeah. So like the movie, it starts off pretty cool, where like if you're a fan of those Mexican wrestler movies where you have like they'll have like a Mexican wrestler fight fight like monsters and shit. The movie starts off like that, where like Hellboy is in Mexico. He's there to pick up an agent who was friends with him called Ruiz, who went missing, trying to track down a nest of vampires. He tracks him down at a luchador ring where he's like a Mexican wrestler called Kamazats, which is a name of an actual demon. If you ever played like SMP, it's like this vampire bat fucking thing. And it's he fights him in this ring, which was like super cool to see, like Hellboy fighting a wrestling match, and like, you know, I mean, it kind of gets obvious where it turns out, like, you know, he's a vampire, but like I still thought that was cool. What happens after that? You have this, like, you have the Grulak you get this, like, I'm getting ahead of myself. You get this, like, cool scene where you get to see King Arthur, like this origin story of the Namio Blood Queen, where she was tricked by King Arthur and killed. King Arthur was at war with this witch, right? And like he chopped her up into little pieces and put them in caskets and buried them throughout the land. Grulak, who in the comic book was this fairy king who gets cursed to look this ugly pig monster, right? They changed they changed his story a bit, but yeah, he's helping the Namu, the Blood Queen, by collecting all of her body parts, right? While this is going on, Hellboy gets lured into a trap by a secret society that used to be friends with Professor Broom, this is a British secret society, but that's supposed to be around for like 100 years or so. No, not 100 years, since like the 1940s or whatever. But like, you know, you see like an Indian guy and a black woman. that's part of this British, probably royal secret society, but whatever, right? A lot of the casting, you have a very diverse casting in this movie, man, which kind of brings you out of it for a little bit, but it's like, yeah, it's like whatever. What can you do? So yeah. Hellboy gets lured into a trap where he joins them on their wild hunts, which is only a subplot in the movie, and it turned out to be a fake one at that. So I don't know why they would name the comic book after the Wild Hunt, and it's like has nothing to do with the actual Wild Hunt, but whatever, right? So he joins the Wild Hunts. The giant killers like try to kill him because they spoil this right away that he's going to be the new king of England, right? Which I even read the whole book, so when they said that, I'm like, what the fuck? But he's going to be the new king of England. So like when it's revealed near the end that he has like King Arthur's blood in him because his mom was a human that got raped by like a human witch that got raped or married, it's not exactly clear, by the devil or whoever. It's like, wow, what the fuck? After that, Hellboy learns about the plot to bring back the Blood Queen. He teams up with Alice Monaghan, who's this psychic girl who he saved from fairies. They also tie in the Grulak story, even though Grulak in the original comic book had nothing to do with it, but as far as I remember, but who knows? And you got Ben Damio, who's played by Daniel Day Kim, who you'll know as Johnny Gat in the Saints Row games, and like he was in Lost, and he was in that A&E like TV series, remake of the Andromeda Strain. he's like a cheetah man, which apparently he was in the comic book, by the way. Also, another character from the comic book that's in this movie is Lobster Johnson, who is this like Captain America kind of Nazi hunter ripoff. Which there's a scene where they retell Hellboy's origin story, and they show off the lot of the Nazi characters from the first Hellboy movie and Rasputin, right? Which, you know, that was a cool scene. A lot of the action scenes in the movie are actually really cool, very high energy, and the designs for the monsters in the movie were also great, especially when like Hellboy fought the giants. That was a very high energy scene, and you got to see like a lot of camera movement, not shaky cam, but like the camera would turn around to follow the action. so it's like it turns into like almost Dark Souls, and like Hellboy was able to steal the sword off one of the giants and kill one of them with it, which that was fucking awesome. Right, but yeah, one problem with this movie, I gotta say, besides from the bad casting, which the casting in this movie is fucking awful. Even as Ian McShane as Professor Broom, they could not get a guy who they could make. It's like, for fuck's sakes, could they not have made Ian McShane, like, couldn't they not give him a wig to make him look like fucking Professor Broom? Like, Jesus Christ. His name is, his hairstyle was very reminiscent of his fucking name, for fuck's sake. But whatever, right? Whatever. It is what it is. But yeah, like I fucking forgot what I was gonna say. Whatever. Also, I gotta say, I love the soundtrack for this movie. The soundtrack for the movie was good. But one complaint, I remember what my complaint was. They retell like one of the story points of the second film, The Golden Army, where Hellboy is wondering, man, why am I fighting against my like people, like monsters just like me, right? Which is so fucking dumb. And he does this like, maybe if we didn't hunt down and kill monsters, witches and demons, the witches and monsters and demons would want to kill us, right? It's like so fucking dumb, man. But it's like, the guy was a demon, so you got, you know, it is what it is. But he wises up. He wises up, right? People bitch about that, but he wises up pretty quickly when he gets teleported to go see like the Baba Yaga demon, who was a person in real life, by the way, a blind like Russian lady, who's like eating like dead kids. Yeah, the thing about this movie that, in my opinion, makes it better than the Guillermo del Toro movies is the movie is like metal as fuck with the gore and the monster designs, and some like there's some actual creepy horror scenes in this fucking movie. But aside from that, it still has the fun and high energy of the previous two Hellboy movies. Honestly, dude, in my opinion, the reason why people trash this movie is because there's too much nostalgia for a Hellboy movie. They just want a third Hellboy movie, and it's like, guys, Ron Perlman is like 60 fucking years old, man. He's 60 years old. David Harbour did a great job. The writing could have been a little bit better, but I gotta say, like, there's some great visual effects. Though there was like a CGI car in the beginning of the movie. I don't know. There was some CGI thing in the beginning of the movie that looked really bad. But honestly, dude, like, the visuals in this movie is great, especially near the end, where like Hellboy takes up Excalibur and it turns into a flaming sword, and his horns grow back, and he turns into like a demonic Hellboy, which he's already demonic, but like he turns into a demonic Hellboy, and that causes these fucking giant fucking demons to rise from hell and just kill people. And you just see this mass slaughter, and like, it reminded me of something from Berserk, man. Holy fuck, dude. And the monster designs were actually great. Usually, when you read comics and other stuff, like Western stuff, and you see demon designs, a lot of the demon designs look generic and shitty as fuck, especially compared to manga. But in this, you actually got, like, demon designs that looked fucking awesome. That was on par with shit you would see in fucking manga, right? Like, berserk level shit, man. It was honestly, dude, this movie, in my opinion, I think this movie is great, but I can see some of the problems with the movie, right? Especially with the casting, some of the dialogue and character choices. So I'm only giving this movie like a 6.5 out of 10. But I think if you're a Hellboy fan, you're probably honestly, I don't even like the Hellboy comics. That's the thing, where you read the Hellboy comics, and it's like, I read them when I was in high school, but it's like, they're just dark, moody, adventure, like, horror mystery stories, and like, a lot of Hellboy looks so cool, so you're like, waiting for him to get into fights and shit, and like, the fight scenes usually suck, honestly, dude, if you ever read the Hellboy comics. They're not, maybe later on, they get like as fun and as cool as like the Hellboy movies did, but like honestly, dude, they're like I'm talking about the Guillermo Hellboy movies. Honestly, dude, the movies, in my opinion, are better than the comics, but I could be wrong. Though I want to check out I want to read someday that what was it called, BPRD comic that had like Lobster Johnson in it, which that guy seems like a cool character. They were actually planning on doing a third animated film, which if you haven't seen the animated films, they're actually really great. I was meaning to review them for like Halloween month, but I fucking forgot to pick them up. But yeah, they were they teased Lobster Johnson in the second one, and like Lobster Johnson was supposed to be in the third animated film, and he was gonna be voice acted by Bruce Campbell, aka Ash Williams. Which, honestly, I kind of wish they went with Bruce Campbell instead of Thomas Hayden Church. Though, like, I know people are going to say, didn't you... Like, Bruce Campbell's old. If, like, Ron Perlman's old, how can Bruce Campbell still be doing action scenes? Yeah, it's cringe, but this old man is doing the action scenes. But you know what? It worked in, like, Ash versus the Evil Dead. Though the second season sucked in my opinion, and I stopped watching the show because it just got too PC, honestly, and it just not just too PC, but it's just too. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna stick with the comics, but yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed the film, and I think if you're a comic book fan, don't listen to the criticism. Check by these fucking Guillermo del Toro fanboy critics. Check out the film and see for yourself. Alright guys, peace.